Call the meeting to order for the Solid Waste District of LaPorte County. Hi, Doctor. Right on time. Everybody stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And take the roll call, please.
Commissioner Brolson, Commissioner Cora,
Present.
Mayor Krenz,
Present.
Mayor Muir, Commissioner Brzezinski,
Present.
Councilman Mullenhour,
Here.
Councilman Przybylski.
Here. And minutes.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
we need to do roll call for this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Paul Brooks,
Present.
Julie Charlesworth, Amy Ficus, Jim Irwin,
Present.
Justin Keel,
Present.
Tom Larson,
Present.
Jim Michaels,
Here.
Jennifer Olson, Dick Reel.
We have a quorum of both boards, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to say hi to everyone on the advisory board. I'm Don Przybylski, and I'm a councilman over in Michigan City. So my colleagues here nominated me to be the president, so that's why I'm the president. But just want to welcome everybody and say hi to you. And I know Mr. Michaels from Michigan City, so. All right, with that being said, we have a motion to approve the minutes from the district board meeting on February 6, 2019. Is there a motion to approve them?
So moved.
And a second? There's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the district board. And now the advisory board.
Take a vote on your minutes first, and then we'll...
Oh, okay, all right. All those in favor of approving the minutes from the February 6th meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? And now the advisory board can...
Okay, the minutes from the January 15th meeting have been distributed, and I trust everybody's had a chance to review those. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the January 15th meeting? There's a motion, is there a second? It's been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carries. Minutes are approved.
And now the claims for April, which are in front of us in the packet. Okay. I've had a chance to review them. If board members want a chance to review them, and it'll take a minute or so to do that.
There's nothing unusual on there. We do have a claim for the building payment.
Oh, for the new recycling building,
Yes.
right?
Other than that, they're all standard claims.
I make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Second.
It's been a motion to approve the claims and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? So the claims are accepted for the month of April, and financial reports through the month of March.
Getting back to the claim packet, it look like this. And what I always point out to the board is the number in yellow up here on top. That's our running balance at the end of March. We have $2,108,310. We do have sufficient funds to keep moving forward. We will receive a distribution to add to our funds probably in June. June, 1st of July, somewhere in that range. So we do have significant funds to keep the district running.
We need a motion to approve the...
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the financial report. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. The financial report is accepted. Are there any comments from the public? Any comments from the public? Any comments from the public? Director's report?
First item on my report is just an update. I know the board had some concerns about the recycling dumpster in Michigan City, about the abuse it's been getting. I did do as the board directed me to. I reached out to our vendor, Public Services, and talked to them. Their route supervisor is supposed to be going there at least 3 times a week on the days that we have it empty, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We put the word out through Facebook, through our Citizens Advisory Council. Mr. Brooks was getting some information back to him about our bin. We're trying to see if we can find who some of the violators are of that process. If you look at the picture, I mean, there's wood there. Wood shouldn't be in there. It looks like there's actually garbage there. Garbage shouldn't be there. We're trying to figure out where the violations are coming from, or if it's just the public in general. Michigan City is one of the best communities that I know that does things for their residents. I mean, they do basically door service for their appliances, their tires, their green waste. We do curbside every 2 weeks over there, so anything you can put our bin, you can put out on curbside and we'll take. So just trying to figure out what's the best avenue to keep this clean so the merchants around it don't get upset that that's on their property, and to keep Michigan City happy, because that's their residents, and that reflects on the council and the mayor if we don't keep that up. So as you can see in the picture, it's just going to be an ongoing battle. We're going to try to stay on top of it. We've got our guy going over there once a week also, checking the bin. He does batteries on Wednesday. So every Wednesday he's going to be over there, make sure that's clean. Our recycling coordinator had called in the route supervisor to talk about this. Unfortunately, he's on vacation this week, so his assistant came in. So we hope to get back with him next week and let him know that, this is unacceptable.
Yeah,
What's unacceptable is that, and some of you might not have the photo, but when the new bin was set down this morning, it's clearly empty. And they're supposed to pick up all the residue around it and put it either in the bin. If it's not recyclable, take it with them and then back charges for it. So they're not living up to their agreement in the contract. We're going to keep squeezing them. My next step is to go to actually the general manager over there. If the route supervisor doesn't give us satisfaction in keeping the site clean.
Well, what was his excuse? Why didn't they clean it up this morning when he put the new box down?
The assistant said he just wasn't aware of it, and he's going to talk to his driver why they didn't do it.
Oh, the driver wasn't aware that he was supposed to pick the garbage up if it was laying on the ground?
I think that's an age-old excuse. I can't believe why nobody would not, even if you didn't think it was your job, why would you not be more community conscious? And you're a 500 corporation in public services, why would you not think it's somebody's responsibility? Give us a call and say, hey, we just dropped the bin off and it's a mess out there. Just wanted to let you know.
Okay.
We're going to start squeezing them the best that we can with what we have. There's not a lot of penalty in our contract, but we just hope that through good relationships with the general manager, they'll make it happen.
Okay, we just so that we put them on notice and put them on record that we're keeping track of this. We're going to make a file on it of the complaints that we're going to pose on able disposal, that Mr. Beji put a letter together about the unhappiness or violation or whatever you want, not a violation of the contract. Yeah, violation of the contract? Yeah. Put a professional letter together and send it to the general manager and pull one on file here. And, if they start having a record of not standing up to their end of the contract, then, we'll do what we have to do. I mean, phone calls are fine, but I think having a track record and a file and saying, hey, we've called 3 times in the last month and nothing's changing, what are we doing here? You gonna give us a discount? You giving us money back for not upholding your end of the contract?
Because that bin alone costs us $2,000 a month.
Is it?
To have
Yeah.
service, yes.
Yikes.
Is there any way we can identify who is opening this out?
We got a call yesterday from an individual that was actually shopping at Cablin's there, and they've seen some folks that were in there dumpster diving and throwing a lot of the trash out, the recyclables out, taking what they wanted. Unfortunately, he just, he gave us a description, the 20, I said, did you get a license plate? No. I mean, he told me it was an old Dodge truck that was two-tone, and he said people look like they're in their 20s, but there's a lot of people in LaPorte that's in their 20s and driving two-tone trucks. We don't really want the public confronting people in this day and age, but if they can just give us a license plate number or call the local police department. I reached out last year when we had some problems with Chief Swistic, and he was very good about having some patrols over there. I'm going to reach out again and see if he can have his guys just drive through now and then, let them know that's being watched. But once again, this is a...
So this is actually garbage that was inside of it? That was thrown out?
No, not all this.
Okay.
He said some of it.
That's what you said, they were dumpster diving. I figured maybe they threw some of that stuff
I
out of
believe
the
this was
dumpster.
from the dumpster the day before, or earlier in that day, because like I said,
Wow.
this dumpster to me looks empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
They took everything out of the dumpster and put it on the ground.
Yeah. Because I drove by there at 8 this morning, going somewhere, and I saw it, just the way the box is here, with that door open, and it looked like the truck had just come and taken the full box and left this debris sitting around. But when I came by there at noon, there wasn't any, everything was spotless. Best it's ever looked.
Well, we called him right away when we started getting these pictures. Like I said, Mr. Brooks sent us pictures, and then another individual sent us pictures this morning.
Okay.
Called right away and said, this is unacceptable, especially since we knew you were coming in and you had some concerns about it. We wanted to make sure that we had some answers for you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. And I know that you said that you were investigating, who possibly does this type of activity. So what kind of investigating does your department try to do? I mean, I know there's no camera there.
Right, and just so everybody's clear, we're not an enforcement agency.
Right.
So what we'll do is try to see if somebody's over there maybe taking the aluminum cans out. Try to figure out if it's a certain day that they're doing it.
Yeah.
So that we can see them and then report them to the police. If we can get a license plate number, that's a big help for you, or a picture, and we can turn it to the police department. There's clear signage there that describes what you can and cannot put in the container. It's a 4x8 sign that's sunk into the ground. So.
Yeah. I read it a few times. I've read it to make sure I'm putting the right stuff in that box also. So, yeah, it's there. Let's see. So, in this situation here, possibly some of it was in a box and got flipped out if they were dumpster diving. But do you think another box, have 2 boxes there instead of 1 box, would that help?
Personally, I think you're just gonna double the problem. People still will be too lazy to put it in, too lazy to break their box down. And these containers are kind of disproportionate. When you see the doors, the area like right here and here gets filled up quicker than this area that's in between, this area back here.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't get there. People just don't tend to throw it that way. Truly, they probably need to design a better box that has, and we asked if they had maybe a larger open top maybe type of container, or even one that had larger doors in it so they can get stuff further off to the sides.
Was that something you could work with Able Disposal on to see if they could?
This is their
see what,
standard box.
pardon?
This is their standard box that they use. They don't, this is a 30-yard. We asked if they even had a 40-yard.
Yeah.
They do not have 40 yards.
But I mean, as far as the openings on the top, could they design some kind of box for Michigan City if we request it?
I can ask them. I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah, see what they say, Clay. Maybe they can design a box, have their welders fabricate something that maybe would help us.
And the other thing, like I said, it's $2,000 a month just for the one. So you're probably looking at, at least a 50% increase if you put 2 containers out there. So probably looking at $2,500 to $3,000 a month. That really cuts into our budget.
All right, so if we put another box there, and that would increase your budget for roll-off boxes in Michigan City, what, 2,500 instead of 2,000 a month, correct?
No, in addition to, I believe.
No, it would be, if we're paying 2,000 now for 3 times a week,
Yeah.
I would say it'd probably be another at least 600.
A month?
It's 197 each time you pull it, yeah.
Okay, so it'd be another $600 a month if we had 2 boxes there. All right. Well, and our current cash balance is $2 million, correct? So if we put another box there for a year, 12 times 600 is, what, $7,200?
Yeah.
So it would cut into the budget by $7,200, and on a $2 million budget, I don't think $7,200 is gonna
Well, I mean, that's a yes and no. That's
break
a
the
line-
district.
That's a line item budget there.
Yeah.
We budgeted, I think $1,700,000 for public access and our curbside pickup. And that's pretty much down to the dollar there.
Okay,
So we'd have to take out a different line item to put $7,200 back into that line item and pay for it.
okay. Well, I'll tell you what, how about talking to, and I don't know if we need a motion, correct me if I'm wrong how we do this, but, talk to Able Disposal to see what we can do as far as putting a second box there. And see what they have to say and report back to the board and the advisory commission.
I can do that with Lynn, and I will put together some numbers for you.
Yeah.
At our July meeting, if it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll report back on the status of an altered box, maybe alter it. And I'm also gonna look into the fact, see if how these people are getting in that box, if they're climbing in that little window, or if they're opening the door on the end. If they're opening the door on the end, then I'm gonna ask the public to padlock it so they can't get in.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't
It's
notice
even
the
for their
door
own
on
safety,
the
they
end.
shouldn't be in there for their own safety.
Yeah, right.
But you don't need a motion, that the board's kind of giving me their direction, and I will research it and get back the facts to you.
Okay, right, thanks.
Yeah, because, basically, we can try to police it, and hopefully somebody will turn in a license plate number of somebody that might be doing something illegal. But, now you get this person versus that person. Well, you gotta take somebody to court by, one person versus another person without, eyewitnesses and all that kind of stuff. And I don't actually see this stopping overnight. So I think the board has to come up with some type of solution first, and then we'll go from there. I don't know. Are there any other comments? I'm thinking another box would help. I don't know. Because, I have been there sometimes where you come in on Monday, and I know the box gets full, and by Wednesday morning, that box is jammed. I don't know where all this stuff comes from, but there's a lot of material that goes in that goes into that one box. So I can see why some of this stuff lays around on the outside.
In an ideal world, it'd be nice, once the first box is full, then they go to the second box.
Right.
But in our world, the second box is gonna be half full, and the first box is gonna be half full, and I'm paying to haul both boxes away when they're only being half full.
Didn't at one time, did have 2 boxes there?
We did,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It was right after were asked to take the ones out of LaPorte, since we still had money in the budget, then we went ahead and transferred that over to Michigan City.
Right.
Maybe it'd be smarter just to dump it more often. I don't know.
Yes, it just increases your budget. It's
Well-
$197 each time that's pulled. We pull it 3 times a week now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
It would be nice if we could get them to honor their contract and do their job before we give them any more money.
Well, that's
True. Yeah. That's true, Lynn. That's true.
okay.
Okay. Any other discussions about the box? I do have a discussion.
Like I said, we are going to get the information in July and then
Right.
decide what to do then.
Thank you.
Right. And Mr. Basy's gonna write a letter to Able Disposal on on what we don't like about what they're doing, their job performance right now, and tell them that they're gonna be, put on record that start performing by the contract. Okay? Yeah. And when you get that done, send a copy out to all the board members here so that we know what's going on. Now, getting to the lot itself, I'm talking about the blacktop, you know, in the area around. You know, there's broken glass all over the place. I mean, is there some way that the district can clean that up, or who do you folks rely on to clean that?
We asked the sanitary district to bring their street sweeper over, and they run it through the parking lot when we have a large amount of glass there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I drove through there today and there's glass laying around. I mean, not huge pieces of glass, but you know, the little pieces of glass busted up.
Yeah, we tried to do the broom, and it's too big of an area to broom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can you help out on that, Mr. Michaels? Thank you, sir. All right. Okay, any other questions about the Michigan City dumpster? No? All right. Moving down, community-wide cleanup for April and May.
Just a reminder that we're starting to do our community-wide cleanup. We'll stretch it out to 2 months instead of just not picking one date. We're allowing folks to tell us what day that's more convenient for their groups to come in and clean up. We're trying to coordinate it with all the other communities that's doing their cleanup. Should look like this, even in your packet. I know Michigan City's got their beach cleanup coming up, and a lot of the cities do some street sweeping in their downtowns, in the parks. So we're reaching out to all the different groups, letting them know that we'll provide them with all the bags for cleanup, we'll provide them with some safety vests, some water, whatever they need for their groups so that they're safe. The state highway working on their state highway cleanup during these months, so hopefully you'll see a marked improvement around the community. And we just appreciate it. The CAC board and the district board will pass this on to any groups that they might be involved with that we want to get involved.
Any questions, comments on that subject? Educational update?
It's just a flyer I put in your packet, and our educator was supposed to be here today to update you on all the different programs and stuff. Her schedule got misaligned, so she's going to be out for a little bit. But we'll have her come and meet with the board in July and give an update on all her different programs. I don't want to misrepresent all the good work that she's doing, but this is just kind of an outline of what she's done the last couple of years.
Any questions, comments on the educational update? Annual reports and registrations.
Just to let the board know that we have completed all our required registrations that we need to do, which is the State Board 131 annual report. We've done our electronics registration. We have closed out our recycling or our composting permit that we had in Westville. We opened up a new composting 5-year permit here on Ziegler Road. All those have been registered with IDEM. We've met all the guidelines for that. We've met our requirements for our association to get all our information on their retract program. So usually it's all done by March 1st. Just want to let the board know that we have done all of our obligations. We have incomplete.
All right. Any questions, comments? None? And now we're under old business and the compost site update.
That's just to keep you informed, and I did put our last board meeting minutes in the packet. It's from Larson Danielson Company, they're the general contractors on the project. We meet here every 2 weeks. Our next meeting here is on the 19th. If anybody ever wants to come in and sit down at our meetings, it's at 10:30 in the morning. This kind of gives you the highlights of where we're at in the project, any engineering changes that might have happened. The only engineering change that's came about since I last talked to you folks is we had to purchase a transformer. It's about $3,200. I thought we owned a transformer out in Westville. Come to find out Westville owned that transformer, so I couldn't take it with me. So we had to purchase a new one.
Yeah.
Other than that, it kind of tells you where we're at in the sequence here. They're getting ready to put the office part of it in. They've got the floors poured, the gutters on, the building's up. So it's a matter of now getting the inside finished and the rest of the groundwork done.
And when do you expect the building to be completed?
They have actually until the end of June, but we hope to be in there about the middle of May. Just depends on if the weather keeps cooperating with us or not.
Okay.
I think within the next couple of weeks, you'll start to see some market improvements. They're out there doing some groundwork now, getting ready because the asphalt companies will be opening up real soon. So they'll be able to get in there and get our driveways and our circular track forward and get all that done.
All right, big ribbon cutting ceremony and all that kind of stuff.
We will. We want
Yeah.
people to know and be there.
Nice, okay. Great. Okay, new business. We have charge-offs.
We went back and researched, and we have a resolution in file from 2013.
Yeah, that's right.
That gives myself, from the board, permission to release charge-offs after 7 years. I was going to bring some charge-offs to you folks, but the only thing we have on file is from 2013 up, so we didn't meet the 7-year guideline. So I just want the board to know that probably as we go along from this year on, using this resolution, to start doing the charge-offs on accounts that we can't collect. And those accounts are basically from our compost facility. That's all we actually charge for. And that's after we turn them over to the collection agency. The collection agency can't get them collected. We charge them off after 7 years.
Okay, and I had the opportunity to talk to Lynn about charge-offs before the meeting. Is everybody familiar with charge-offs and what they do and why they do it? Okay, all right. And I did ask a question, why can't we collect right when the people pick up their wood or whatever they're picking up? Why can't we collect cash from them? But Lynn said, due to the State Board of Accounts, internal controls, you're not allowed to do that.
Well, it's not that you're not allowed, it just makes it very complicated.
And before, when we were out in Westville, that was the state's guideline. We were not allowed to have cash on hand where the offenders would have access to it. We're going to probably try to work something out down here since we're so close. That you either stop here and pay for it before you go down and get it. Or since Vince, if he collects it there every day, you'll have to come here and drop the money off. You don't want any money left there overnight. You want it brought in here so we can register it in and then get it deposited in the bank. Through our internal controls, we're not allowed to keep money on site any longer than 24 hours. Every day you're supposed to.
Unless it's less than $500, yeah.
Yeah, because I think on that charge-offs sheet, weren't there 5, 6 names that were on
The
there?
one that we just turned over in November, which we'll do again, it's done every 6 months. Lisa and I'll do it again in June. So there was actually 4 different names, several charges for some, total $300.
Yeah. So then you have to turn around and pay a collection agency to go out and get $300. I don't know what that charge would be, but
Yeah.
It's like $35, but the way our contract is built, that $35 then goes to the person that they're collecting from. We have to pay the initial letter and postage that they're going to send to this person. The actual collection fee is charged back to the customer,
oh, okay.
not to us.
Oh, okay, so we're not paying.
Right, so if they owe me $300.
Chase down that money.
$35, so Vision gets their share there.
All right. Okay, any more information on charge-offs? That it, Clay?
Pretty much, that's it, yeah.
All right, personnel policy update?
There's a couple of items that I wanted the board to look at, and hopefully they would agree with my concerns. First one would be page 52 of our policy. It's on leaves of absence. And currently, at least with our situation,
Is that in the packet here?
in the package, we have 2 sheets.
Last 2 pages.
I might have flipped them on. You might have page 66 in front of you, but I want to start with page 52.
Yeah.
And I handwrote on top what the current policy says and what the suggested policy says. And in the first paragraph, funeral leave, we wanted to add the term domestic partner or life partner. And in today's situation, not only with the transgender stuff and the lesbian and gay and all that stuff, but like in our situation here, with myself, I have a life partner with Dawn that we're not married. But I wouldn't even be able to go to her funeral through our personnel policy. We've been together 20 years. So, and I know you're probably gonna say get married, be on Dawn's side, but there's several of us in the office that fall under that guidelines. We're a little bit concerned that it puts undue stress on me to deny somebody the right to go to a funeral.
Right.
I'm asking the board that they allow me to add those 2 words, and I did run it through the attorney's office, and he was the one that recommended that domestic partner, life partner.
Motion to approve.
Is it life partner or domestic partner? Which way?
Both of them are in there.
Oh, okay.
Actually, each has a distinct definition, believe it or not.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the inclusion of life and domestic partner into the funeral leave. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
There's
That
one-
carries. Pardon?
Mr. President, there's one other page 66, we need to adopt one more change to the current policy.
Right, that's our travel limits and allowances. We go to section 6 of the B, meals. Yeah, that, Mr. Chairman.
I don't see it right offhand. I'll look at the doctor, sure.
The 2 suggestions that I'd like to make is that the meals under B1, currently it says not to exceed $60. I'd like to have that raised to $75 a day for meals. And then on line 3, it says a tip of 15%. I'd like to have that raised to 20%.
Motion to approve.
Is that in line with other county departments? Is that how did you come up with that figure?
I don't really track the county as often as I should, but that was their original ones that was in the county, the 60 and 15.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not they've updated theirs or not, I could not tell you.
We haven't yet, but we have discussed it, and I think it'll be on a commissioner meeting coming to you soon.
Would it be the same amount, you think, or
Well, we haven't discussed that much yet, but it makes sense. If you've been out of town, depending on where you go. Yeah. VFW gives me $40 a day to eat in Washington DC. How do you think that works? Well,
I have a question. Do you remember how these numbers 60 and how old has it been? Is it like 10, 15 years?
Yeah, this $60 is in place for several, well,
Yeah, back when I was a commissioner, it was,
and it's gotta be 10, 15 years since this has been revised.
and like I said, back in the day, you could go to a vendor and have, a group meal or something. Nowadays, they kind of frown on that. They don't want you going to the vendors and getting meals and stuff. They want you to be responsible for your own meals. We don't have the type of vendors that other agencies might have. We don't go to that many association meetings or meetings that take us out of town.
I think it's a fairly modest increase, really.
At least the tip part of it, I mean, you can't even find on the registers anymore where they put 15, and somewhere between 18 and 22 is what the industry standard is getting to be.
So I make a motion to approve the change.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to include a change that will be not to exceed $70 per day and $75 per day and 20% tip going up from 15%. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. So that motion carries.
That is all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Are there any committee comments or from the Citizens Action Committee? Any comments or anything? Okay. That being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.